everybody, it is Jay, and welcome back to Lawn Mowing Simulator. We're going to kind of do something similar to what we did last time. There are a couple changes and an update to Lawn Mowing Simulator we're going to talk about. Then I'm going to talk to you guys about this idea that I have. So first thing first, the Patterson ROA has been added and is available for purchase with 3 new challenges. Another thing that they've done is they have given you, you're able to hire up to 4 people now. So let's, we'll hire this guy. And we'll hire her. All right, now we need to get lawnmowers for everybody, but I don't have any bays available. That's disappointing. Okay. Well, I guess we better do a couple of jobs here. So let's get, let Muhammad go out on this guy here. Do that one. And we're going to take care of this one here. All right, guys. So, like I said, a couple of things they've updated. Up to four employees. I could have a couple new mowers. So now I'm going to be working in-game toward more bays in the garage, so I can have more lawnmowers and be able to complete better contracts. So I'm going to switch over now, and we're going to talk about this idea I have of letting failure be your motivation. Okay, so let's talk real quick about what that means. Let failure be your motivation. A lot of people are afraid of failure. I'm one of those people. One of my biggest fears in life is not succeeding, and is failing myself or failing others. So failure can be listed as one of my fears. But I also use it to be my motivation. And there's a couple ways that I do this. First, anybody who has been following me for a little bit, whether it came from Twitch or on my Instagram, whichever, knows that I am kind of a gym rat. I enjoy going to the gym. I lift weights regularly. I exercise so that I can be prepared for whatever it is that comes my way. The one thing that I don't do, and that has always bothered me that I don't do, is cardio, running. So you even tighten the grease. So I got motivated a couple weeks ago to start running because my boss decided to sign me up for a 5K in about 6 weeks' time. I don't think I've run 5 meters so far this year. So I started running. And I went on my first real training run yesterday. Now, I think it's important to note that my alarm went off at 7 a.m. so I could go for this run before work. And my mind said, absolutely not. I don't want to do this. I'm going back to bed. And I set another alarm for 8 o'clock, and that alarm went off. And I laid in bed, and I looked at social media. I went through TikTok, and I did everything I could to avoid getting up and going for this run. Finally, I had to take Titan outside, so I was kind of forced to get up and get moving. So I forced myself to put on some running shorts, put on a shirt, grab my headphones, and go out for a run. Now I'm using an app called Couch to 5K, and it is from I think it's Active, AAPTIV. But it's a Couch to 5K program. It's to take somebody who doesn't run and get them in X amount of time to be able to run a 5K. I've done it a couple times before I've gotten started, and I'll tell you, that first run, if you haven't been running, is rough. You run for 90 seconds and then walk for 120. So you run for a minute and a half, walk for 2 minutes. And then you run for a minute and a half, walk for 2 minutes. You do that 6 times with a 5-minute warm-up and a 5-minute cool down. Last time I tried to do this was last week. Now, granted, I did it after doing a leg day in the gym, which probably wasn't the smartest thing. But I had to skip 3 of the running portions to walk. And I felt just rusty when I tried to run. I felt like unnatural trying to run. I started on this one, and the app said, to start my first run, and I started running, and it felt good. It felt natural. And I was able to get through my first run and walk, then my second run and walk, then my third, my fourth, my fifth, and it wasn't until the 6th run, with 15 seconds left in the run, that my mind started yelling, you have to stop. There's no way you're going to make it this next 15 seconds. Just walk. There's no, that's what I'm looking for. There's nothing wrong with walking now. You've accomplished a lot today. So go ahead and just start your walk early. And as much as my mind was screaming that, I forced myself to finish out that last 15 seconds. And it's an interesting thing because the mind was saying stop, but the legs kept chugging, the lungs kept breathing, and everything else kept moving as much as the mind wanted you to stop. You see, it's been proven time and time again, especially in exercise and other things, that the mind will quit long before the body does. The mind is kind of a overwhelming force. See, your mind feels the effects of everything. So it's feeling the pain in your legs and the pain in your lungs. And for me, it was the pain in my shoulders and my lower back, because all of that is involved in running. So it felt all that pain, all that discomfort, all that fatigue, and went, this is a lot. We need to stop. But then when you start checking in with each individual part, you check with the legs, and the legs go, nah, I'm good. The lungs go, nah, we can go a little longer. The shoulders look at you and go, come on, really? Up. all you're doing is moving me back and forth. And then the lower back pops in and goes, this sucks, but we can make it. Individually, each one can muscle through everything. Pardon the pun. But combined, the mind says, this is too much. We need to stop. So this is my experience with weightlifting, with running, but it can be applied to so many other things. Obviously, there's a lot of situations in life that if you're in a bad place and the mind is telling you to get out, get out. If you're in an abusive relationship, get out. If you are addicted to drugs or alcohol and you don't want to be, get out. And I know it's not that easy. I'm speaking in generalities. But as I said, the mind will give up long before the body does. I think back on my life and I think of all the stuff that I've quit along the way because it was too hard. I think of all the stuff that I could possibly have had I just continued past that point of mental exhaustion. It's no surprise, and it shouldn't be to anybody who's been following me. I wanted to be a police officer since I was a baby. My first memory of wanting to choose a career path has always been a police officer. The one thing that has always kept me from obtaining that is my physical fitness. And the one thing in my physical fitness that has always stopped me is the running. So now I'm 38 years old, still looking to get into law enforcement, but it's kind of a young man's game. But I can still do it. I just need to train. But I think of some of the other jobs that I've had that just got hard, so I left. And I wonder where I might have been if I stuck with them. I think of playing baseball as a kid. And I think of where that would have taken me. Yeah. Was I going to be a pro? No. But could I have possibly gotten a college scholarship somewhere? Maybe. But I stopped. Because it was hard. It wasn't what I wanted. I didn't want to be that type of person. So let's talk about the meat and potatoes of what I'm trying to say here. Let failure be your motivation. Because I am so afraid of failure, it motivates me to get up every morning, to go to the gym, to find something heavy and to pick it up and to put it down and to do it over and over and over again. Obviously, there's a lot more to it than that, but it's what's driving me now to continue with the running. Because I was in that 15 seconds of hell in my last run, and my mind telling me to quit. And I looked at that as failure and said, I am not going to fail myself anymore. And I kept on pushing. I know I started this speech off by saying, I'm afraid of failure. And I guess I should change how I say that. I'm not afraid of failure. I'm afraid of being a failure. I embrace failure because I learned from failure. The amount of things in my life that I have because of failure is amazing. But how else can failure motivate you? Maybe you're afraid of failing a math test if you're in school. Use that failure to motivate you to sit down, study the material, and just plug through and keep pushing and learn what you're trying to do. Maybe you started a new job and you don't feel like you belong, or you don't feel like it's going well. Let the fear of failure push you to be better at that job, to do better at that job, to learn what you're doing, to put that time and that effort in to be the person that your employer sees in you. There's a lot of stuff out there to motivate you. Failure can be one of them. One of the things with this YouTube channel, when I started back in January, really trying to put myself into it, I came into this as a hobby. I don't care if I make money in it at all. But one of the things that drives me to keep going, to keep learning, and to keep creating content is that fear of failure. Am I ever going to be the next PewDiePie? No. To be honest, I don't really know who PewDiePie is. I just know he's one of the largest YouTubers, if not the largest YouTuber. But I can be the best Chi-Town Jason that there is. That's going to do it for this episode, everybody. I hope my ramblings made sense. Feel free to leave notes in the comments. Tell me if this made sense to you. As always, this is Jay saying, be good to yourself, be good to others, and bring happiness into the world. And I'll see you in the next video.